Hey guys, my name is Nate and this is my brother Steven. Together we are Wingman Merch.
Thanks for checking out our video. We put these up about a month after we shoot them. If you'd like to catch any of these videos live, check out our Facebook page. The link is in the description.
Hey guys, we are coming to you live from St. Louis, Missouri. We just got done with the Legends Conference. It was a lot of fun. We talked and I think our talk went pretty well. Got a lot of good feedback. Before we jump into all of our thoughts on that and kind of what we want this week to look like, we just wanted to say happy birthday to our sister, Victoria. We wanted to do this at the beginning of the show because we know she's only going to watch maybe 5 minutes.
If you're lucky, 5 minutes. Two. I'm betting two. If you could do a favor and tag her in this video and see if she even watches 2 minutes of it.
Yeah, we just think it'd be funny, a little surprise for her if you guys could tag our sister Victoria Hibbert on this video, and she'll at least watch the first 2 minutes so we can say happy birthday, Victoria. All right, so into our thoughts on this Legends presentation. We did, not to like brag on ourselves, but I think we brought a new idea to a group and we had a lot of good feedback from it. So the idea was we wanted to help people who already have an Amazon business add merch to what they're doing. A lot of our teaching has been starting from the very beginning. If you know nothing about Amazon, if you know nothing about the tools, we want to show you all of that.
Or nothing about selling online, period.
Right. And we think that's helped
how to do Amazon or how to do merch.
We think that's helped a lot of people, but we now see that there's a lot of people in our community and that we could help with the idea of how do I just add merch to a business I already have on Amazon. You might understand keywords, you might already have products that are selling, just a little bit more knowledge and more information to work off of than just here's how you start from nothing. So we really liked the presentation. We got a ton of good feedback. I think I said it a few times now just because, I don't know, it makes me happy to have like that instant feedback when we do something. Even during the presentation, people are like, wow, this is such good information.
And it's kind of funny to me too, like whenever we go somewhere new and it's not people that really know us, we're kind of like leopards almost, I feel. Like nobody's coming up to us, nobody's saying anything. We're trying to go out and say hi to people and they're like, we don't know you. And they turn away. But as soon as we do our presentation, like everybody flocks and rushes us and we're like, we're trying to talk to you from day one.
Yeah, so we love helping people in this new way. And we're just interested to see if there's people in our community who have an Amazon business who just want, a few steps of how to add merch to what they're already doing. And that's what we talked about this weekend. Here's, a very simple way to just add onto what you're already doing to be able to get t-shirts up and live. So you don't have to only focus on merch. We don't want you to drop what you're already doing to just, full-time do merch if you have a successful merch business or Amazon business. But yeah, I think there's a lot of exciting ways you can just add it to what you already have going on. So if you guys could let us know, we'll probably do a post sometime during the week, but even on this video, if you're watching it live or watching the replay, we'd love to know if there are more people who already have an Amazon business out there that just want to know a few easy steps for how to add that to add merch to what you're already doing.
Yeah, and I guess if you guys are interested, we could even do that presentation in this group if you guys are interested in that. We kind of really catered it for this audience here. But after talking to a lot of people, getting a lot of feedback, we've realized like, oh, this is probably very good information for a lot of people, anybody that has an Amazon business. So if you are running another Amazon business, and I know Q4 is extremely busy, and you are interested in how do I just add this simply to my business? A lot of stuff I feel like we kind of cover already. It's just a different point of view and looking at it a little bit differently.
Yeah, I have not heard anyone else talk about this, and I didn't really realize the power of what Steven had like come up with until we taught it to people and kind of saw people's eyes light up. It's like, oh, I can do that. And everyone just said like, yeah, the concept is very simple. How exactly they pull that off, there's still, details we need to work out with everybody. But the concept is new and exciting. And so, yeah, that's why I'm just like hyped up on it. I was like, oh,
it pretty much came from us. We have done OA and RA and a lot of other Amazon businesses for a long time. So I was like, okay, if somebody were to talk to me during fourth quarter, what would I want to hear? And then I was like, I don't want to hear anything except for maybe a small piece that I could add. Then I was like, okay, how do we wrap that into a presentation? And I feel like we did that in a cool, interesting way. And I didn't know the impact it would have. And then just going, I just didn't want to get booed off stage, pretty much. I was like, we're coming into a territory that they probably don't care about merch at all. Let's just give them a piece and see if anybody has any interest. I don't want to bore anybody. And then just seeing the roaring response and being like, oh, okay, this wasn't even on our radar. We just thought maybe this might help somebody. And then like the the raving fans behind it. We were like, okay, let's try now to see if more people want this information.
Yeah, no, it was a really good event. I even ran out of business cards, so that's a good sign of just handing
And we
out,
took a
talking
stack,
to,
yeah.
yeah, talking to everybody. So really enjoyed ourselves here. Thanks to Danny and Ryan for putting that on. And yeah, we love the Amazon Legends family, and we want to help more people who have an Amazon business already established, and just again learn how to add merch to that. Just so you don't have to, think of it as this huge monster that you have to tackle. Can be just a few simple steps to get you guys on your way. So we had a few questions we wanted to answer at this time. The first one coming from Chris Herbert, who said changing brand names, or the question was he wanted to change the brand name for a shirt that was already selling well in a trend. And I'll let Steven answer this because that's more of a data question.
Was that for a specific reason?
I don't think he said. He just said he wanted to change the brand name for a trending T-shirt that he had, and what the consequences, or if that was something you would suggest doing.
We have changed brand names. We're normally doing it to group niches together or group bunches of shirts together so we can have that call to action on the bottom. So if you're doing it for that, you can. It normally doesn't change our sales. If it does, it doesn't change it very drastically. The only thing that would really change a lot of your sales if you go through and like redo the whole listing and try to go in a complete different direction. And normally we're not doing that unless something is not working. The brand name change, you could maybe index for some additional words. So any words that you're pulling out of there, you might want to add them into your bullets. So I guess just asking why you would want to do that, and if you are going to do it to maybe attempt to target a different market, just realize that whatever you're taking out of that brand, if you want to try something else in that space, don't just throw away that keyword. If you have a shirt that's working, put it somewhere else in your listing. Now, if it's a shirt that's not working, then I would change a lot more than just the brand name to see if you can get it positioned somewhere else or try to breathe life into the listing. But if you're just doing it to gather shirts together in group shirts, which we've done, the brand name changing shouldn't change that much. And if you are trying to move in a different direction, just keep the keywords that are already ranking and working somewhere in your listing. I guess if you're trying to retarget. I guess that's the only two reasons I can think of. If you're doing it for another reason, let us know, and I might have some different advice.
Yeah, we've for trends though, if you're selling a shirt, it might be almost better to like put up a similar shirt and then change the keywords in there instead
Like make a
of
whole new listing.
Exactly. Instead of just messing with something that's already working, it shouldn't change too much. But there's nothing stopping you from putting more shirts there, which is something we'd suggest if you're finding success anyways. But definitely for split testing and learning more about keywords, just adding more shirts there so you have more data to pull from. And see what's working from multiple listings than just the one and messing with that too much. Yeah. All right. So the next question we have is from Randy Jones, who was asking for good keywords for local events. And that is something that I like. He said that he knows, or he checked the trademark on the actual name of the event, and that wasn't trademarked, and he's staying away from it, which is good. I feel like you're actually listening to the advice that we've been giving, just because it's allowed. That is kind of gray area, and maybe would just stay away from that. But something you can do, and something I would suggest, is using as much information about the city as possible. So I would use like the city name, the city nickname, even the area code. I would go after things like that. So if people are searching for, a Miami T-shirt, then they will type in other things related to Miami, and they might see, oh yeah, I wanted a shirt that represented my city, but I forgot I was going to this event as well, and they'll see your shirt. So just adding as much information about that city, like Chicago is known as the Windy City. So I would use nicknames like that if your city has any, or even if if your city or your state or whatever, like as much information about that T-shirt to relate it to people living in that area or people who might be going to that event. If it's a rock band concert, then adding, something to do with rock and roll, like those rock and roll keywords along with keywords that represent your city.
Yeah, whatever that theme is for that event, you can also try to tag, like, are people, like rock and roll, are people saying very
rock on or stuff like that.
That same verbiage for that theme or niche, and then try to target it that way. But again, you do have to do a lot of trademark research on all that stuff. So be cautious knowing that you're going to go into that stuff. But again, if you're building a list of keywords and you already vet them, then you go, okay, these keywords should be in theory safe if I use them again. At least I've done research and I know if I'm close to gray or if I'm all the way clear, you have a good idea, so you don't have to keep doing the same type of research if you want to target more of those theme or niche events.
Exactly. I really love going after local events. That was something I enjoyed while traveling, just looking up what events are popular where I was going and making sure it's for them and seeing success with that. So I would encourage you to keep looking at your local events. Another exciting thing that I haven't had success with, just because I haven't sat in one place long enough to really do this, but if you actually try to get in contact with the people putting on that event and attack the problem that way. Hey, I made this awesome shirt. It's selling well on Amazon, or even if it's not selling well, it's on Amazon, and just showing them like, hey, this is something I can offer to you guys. Would you just mind promoting this link and saying, hey, if you guys want shirts to wear to our event, attack the deal that way. There's a lot of different things you can do with like splitting the profits with them and everything, but I would just suggest the idea to them.
Yeah, partnering.
Exactly.
Nathaniel's going to be talking a lot about that next year for sure, because that's what he really enjoys doing, especially like he said, traveling and just partnering up with people.
So good luck with that. Let us know if you have any more questions. And the last thing we want to wrap this show up with, we're going to try and keep this short, is I want to move forward with the feedback idea that I kind of talked about last week a little bit, of just giving people feedback on actual listings that they're going after. I've talked with more people, and they're like, yeah, I've been doing this thing for a while, and I think I'm following you, but it would really help if you could just list that like 5 to 10 of my listings and tell me your ideas. We've tried to do one-on-one coaching before, but because of how crazy our schedule is right now, we just have a problem with both of us sitting down and being able to communicate with you. So we're thinking about doing coaching maybe in the future at some time, but for now, we're really excited. I am excited about this feedback idea, just because I love helping people on a one-on-one scale, and I think that would help me do that. So if anyone's interested in that, I'm going to try and do it with 2 people this week.
Well, better explain the idea.
Okay.
So what you're doing is asking people to show you 5 to 10 listings. You'll look at it, you'll process the information, then record a 15 to 20 minute video to be able to send back to them.
Yeah, sorry, I got excited. I just want people to sign up now. But yeah, Steven's right. I want you guys to send me a few of your listings so I can look over them and process that information, and then I'll record a video and send it to you within a couple of days telling you, okay, I think that you're doing a good job of using keywords or finding keywords. You just need to use them a little bit differently, or maybe your art needs to stand out in a slightly different way. Just my suggestions after doing this for 2 years. If I look at a listing, how can you improve that? And I think the pre-recorded video, sending that back to you guys, gives me time to just really comb over, this is exactly what I would be doing. Here are some landing zones maybe that you could target with this. This is, I could show you in Photoshop, like exactly how I would change up the art and things like that. So
those are probably the 2 biggest questions that we got at this event was, do you do one-on-one coaching? And if we were to ask questions, how could we get a more personalized feedback?
Yeah.
And just hiring VAs is probably really what the second one was. Can you train my VAs to do that? And I guess that's why they were asking more personalized. Like if I were to ask you these questions, could you tell me exactly how this works in our business? If you aren't going to sit down and do a coaching call.
Exactly. So I'm looking for 2 people to help me out this week. I'm going to be charging $20 for those calls, and it would just be first come, first serve. So whoever watches this, if you want to contact me and say, hey, I'm interested in getting some feedback on my listings, just message that on Facebook to me, and I'll get with the first 2 people who do that. Again, it's going to be $20. I'll try to do it within 1 or 2 days. It'll just be a 15 to 20 minute video of here's all my thoughts on those listings you sent me, and we'll work forward from there. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We're excited for the things to come for this group. We're excited that we're getting to go out and talk with people and see exactly what your problems are and try to bring you more content that's going to help you take action, which is what we're all about. So
how many people do we have in the group now? I didn't even ask.
We're close. I think it's like 970. So we're getting real close to 1,000 people. Like we said last week, we're going to cap it at 1,000 people. And
we're
really
going to try, because now we're in the
guys.
same position that we were last year when we were like, anybody can come in the group if you're in this event, and then we're going to be kicking them out. So we might actually go over that 1,000 a little bit, but we're going to try to keep it right at 1,000.
Yeah, when we do speaking engagements, it's hard to say, like, we have a group, but we're not letting anyone in.
Even though I said that twice.
Yeah. So we do want to help everybody, but again, we want to keep this at 1,000 people, learn how to help you guys the best. And yeah, we've got a lot of exciting ideas for the future.
Yeah, we're not closing it forever. We're just closing it until we have a better plan. Like I said, I think last week, I want to hand this all off to Nathaniel now, because I have a a bigger idea. And I think even talking to Danny, Ryan, a lot of other presenters here, them going, oh, that's a really good idea. You should pursue that. I want to now start moving in a slightly different direction. We will still be working together. This ain't going to change. But who's actually the face of this might be more of Nathaniel than me. And Nathaniel has a lot of cool ideas, too, because as soon as I said, oh, I want to hand this off to him, he was like, what does that mean? So then he was like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I could show a lot more of the travel. So I was like, yeah, that'd be probably a lot better than how we're running it now. So at least we're going to try that and see how it goes.
So thank you guys for joining us. We're excited to get back to work in Florida.
I'm surprised you're saying that now.
We'll see how this week goes.
Next Monday, you might say something else.
All right, we'll catch up with you guys later this week.